Golden Virgin, in Belia Zemia. There's no more Kara Lefsva, Korelevu, Stalaya. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with the VeVe, OMI, DEFX DEVVE Dacat Loki update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Hello, guys. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon. Smash that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Little let it go for you. Although I think that in Russian the title of let it go is called Apusti Izabud, which should just be Apusti. You know, like let it go. But I think it's just called Apusti Izabud. Let it go and like be free. I think it's called. Anyway, there is a bit to go over today. We have I'll be live tomorrow morning as well. I should be live twice tomorrow. Tomorrow morning for the Motomichi drop. That is going to be great because they are giving away, and I'll go over it all tomorrow morning. I'm finally going to use some MCP on it, which will be fantastic. But aside from that, you have the physical giveaways that they're doing. So the digitals are one thing. It's 100 of them. I don't know if they're keeping any. So I think there's 111. Also, I'm at level 86 now, finally, and but Diamond 2. So there are really not a lot of people on the app. Like that is not a good look. But how are there more people signing up every day and you know, less people in that MCP program? We'll talk about it. Let me see the coming soon here. All right, Motomichi. Yeah, it's 111. All right, there's 101. So they're keeping. Okay, so there is 111. But they're keeping 10 of them, so there's 101. So it'll make about 11K tomorrow, which is fine. That's not the point. The point is they're going to give away a couple of physicals. Let me see if I have the numbers here. And again, we'll go over it tomorrow. I should have it. My phone is not updating, and I don't know why. Maybe I'm tripping here. I could have sworn I took a screenshot of it. Okay, yeah. The number 72 gets the original plus the digital. The number 78 gets Monster 1 screen print, and number 98 gets Monster 2 screen print. So there is only 3% of these that are going to get the physicals, but I don't think that really matters. Wraithax, who was commenting on here yesterday, had mentioned that he's got a physical, and he's going to spend a fudge ton of money on the or a fudge ton of MCP on that tomorrow. Now, this is one of those things where I don't know if you're gonna be able to get two. I don't think you can because there's so few of them. It's like, but you know, who's gonna spend $111 on this? Well, some people think that actually it was Comics Explained, the guy Rob, who's a really good dude. Is it Rob Comics Explained, or is it just Comics Explained? I'm going to try to find this dude. Okay, so Comics Explained, he might actually be on the podcast soon. I guess I guess Emoji is friends with him, and we've interacted like once or twice, but I've never like, maybe I interacted. Yeah, it was like on like someone's space. It might have been Emoji space. But he's a big comic book guy. I've actually seen a few of his videos. Like when I was searching for Aliens vs. Avengers, he had done a video about it. Like basically what he does is he takes comic books and he's like, hey, let's read through it. And he reads through them and he tells, you know, he shows the comic while he's reading, and he's very good. He's very good at what he does. So he might be coming on the podcast at some point. We'll see. But he had mentioned before, he requoted Culture Crave, and Culture Crave had said, Supergirl opens with $68 million at the global box office, so close to 69. Domestic opening was lower than The Flash, Morbius, and The Marvels. Oof. Production budget was $170 million. Now I go and say, like, I saw it, despite it getting horrible reviews, and there only being 5 other people in the theater when I saw it. I actually liked it. Some parts were a bit slow, but I enjoyed most of the movie. Yeah, a lot of people made fun of the girl because she had I don't know why, like she's a pretty girl, but she looks like that dude from We're the Millers movie, but more recently he was in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I forget what character he played, but yeah, she kind of looks like him, and then she, landed like a squirrel. But again, it was still a good movie, and I thought she was a good Supergirl. Anyway, Comics Explained says, makes sense. Most non-comic readers see Supergirl as just Superman with boobs, and we just got a Superman movie. Folks are broke and are more discerning on what they spend their money on. I think this means a lot of people are ambivalent and will just wait for streaming. Was the Superman movie that recently? Yeah, it was last year. It was about a year ago. So it's not like they're giving us a Superman movie in January and then a Supergirl movie, like a few months later in May, although we're in June now. Like, it was a year. And again, it's not like it's the same character, but I get it. Yeah, a lot of people that are not comic book readers, maybe that's how they see him. Do they even know that they're cousins? I don't know. They might. I don't know how the normal public sees Supergirl. But all this being said, what I want the takeaway from this is where he says folks are broke and are more discerning on what they spend their money on. Remember how in Legend of Zorro, the first movie, I know there's Mask of Zorro, there's Legend, the one with Antonio Banderas and Catherine Zeta-Jones. In the first movie, he does something and he says, I thought I had lost favor with this part. And then Antonio says, only in certain circles. Like, as in, like, you've lost favor with some of these people, but not in these circles. Like, in some circles, you have lost favor, but in the company that I roll with, you have not lost favor. Like, we're still behind you. Where he says, folks are broke and are more discerning on what they spend their money on. I'm going to quote Antonio Banderas and say, only in certain circles. Because, yeah, people on VeVe tend to go pretty crazy. But yeah, all that being said, even Emoji yesterday, when we were talking about the Moto Michi stuff, he's like, yeah, he's a little bit more conscious about what he spends his money on. Because in a bull market, everyone's got money and you're just throwing money everywhere. And then in a bear market, like, yeah, like in a bull market, I would probably be stacking Kataras because, like, let's say I'd have like $1 million worth of OMI as opposed to like nothing in OMI. Where it has to come like from bank account instead of OMI. Now, don't get me wrong, it's Avatar, so I have a bunch of Angs, a bunch of Sokkas, and I have one Katara so far. But the thing is that Katara didn't sell that well, so there's nobody selling her for cheap. I got lucky and I got one at $15, but now it's 18. Like for Aang and Sokka, Aang was like $12. Sokka was like $9. I think Sokka is still really cheap. Like I'm certain you can get Sokka for like 10. Yeah, it's $11. So that's why, even though I have more of Aang than I do Sokka, I'm still the number 3 holder of Sokka because again, he's pretty cheap to stack. Like to get him for like $10 is ridiculous. Like that's dumb. But for Katara, because she didn't sell as well, there's not as many people willing to sell her for that price. So you got, oh man, Gold Quest already, number 4 on the list, 17. But yeah, if she does go down to those levels, I will stack, maybe not as much as Sokka, because again, like my girl is Toph, and I am gonna go hard on Toph. Like I'm not gonna be number 1 because you're gonna have Gold Quest that'll get like hundreds, but I will go and get a good amount. Anyway, long story short, all this to say that yeah, some people might not, but for this type of drop where it's pretty exclusive to have them, it's only 101 of them, and 3 of them get a physical piece, and those physical pieces are a lot. It's worth it, even for flippers. Chuck and Hang says, watch the World Cup, go Canada, go. I've been keeping up with the videos on TikTok. I don't know what the goalie. Oh God, I forget. Was it USA? Let me try to. Also, the 100 men versus gorillas thing is back. I don't know why it's back, but it's back. That debate has been raging on now. USA versus, was it? All right, who are the teams at US? All right, teams USA played in World Cup. All right, Australia. Okay, I think it was Australia. Yeah. No, there was one. Maybe I forget who it was, but there's um soccer goalie collapse meme. I don't. It was recent. The guy like he went to save the ball, and then he just like collapsed on the. It was funny. I don't. But I've been keeping up with the stuff on TikTok, and the World Cup is great. But what I really like is good foreigners. What I mean by that is like people that pay to come here and they are visiting, and they're like, especially like Japan, that is just after a game they're just helping clean up the stadium is like insane. That's the best way. Love our Japanese brothers and sisters over there. But it's just the mixing of cultures. Like I think what team is in Boston for World Cup? I think, all right, Germany and Paraguay are in the Boston area to play. Okay. Cup, July 4th, Boston. Are there any games that day? They do not. Okay. The knockout stage June 29th, July 9th. City offers. What soccer teams were in Boston for World Cup? I thought it was the Scottish peeps. Okay. 11 national soccer teams to Boston. Okay, it was Haiti, Scotland. It was Scotland. Okay, it was the Scots that did that. They like drank Boston dry. Norway, England, Ghana, and France. I don't know who's left there, but for the most part, it was pretty cool to see just the mixing of cultures, and it seemed awesome. And it just shows that governments of the world suck and the people are great. Yo, what's up, Chillin' and Vibin'? How's it going, fam? Chillin' and Vibin', I believe, is the #1 rank for the affiliate program and the contest that they're doing. And he's going to get a secret rare Street Fighter, which, by the way, we've got count them two. We got 40. Well, it's going to be 3 a.m. on Wednesday, technically. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 54. Wait, 54 and a half hours. We have 54 hours and 45 minutes and something seconds. 54 hours, 45 minutes and something seconds until they are burned. And yeah, which one are they going to get? Planet Vampire says he should have used Haley Welch as herself as Supergirl. Haley Welch is great, but I don't know if her accent would have been. How old is she? Oh, she's 23. Okay, yeah, she's super young. And she kind of does look like a Supergirl, but yeah, I think she just. I don't know how that would have gone. I don't know how that would have gone over. All right, all right, who is Millie Alcock? She's Australian. She's 26. Actually older than the What else has she been in? Never saw Cyrus. Oh, she was in House of the Dragon. Okay, okay. Obviously, she had a cameo, I guess, in Superman. I have not seen anything else. I didn't even see House of the Dragon. I heard it was decent though. I mean, 26. Not gonna expect her to be in a ton, but yeah, she was fine. You know, she looked good. I thought it was. She seemed to be in shape. It was pretty decent. Canada won today. First team in the final 16. Oh, all right. So for, let's say, like March Madness, you have like the whole bracket system. Do they have that for the World Cup? Like, can you go into the like, can you buy like brackets and be like, okay, here's the bracket, and you know, yeah, like I don't know. Zombie saying that the bottom October, the bottom is coming. You know, he's been saying this for quite a while, and he might very well be right. Yeah, Bitcoin's got to get down to, I'm gonna say 40. Now, does it like stay down there, or is that what it wicks down to? Probably what it wicks down to. Let's do the math real quick. 126 times. So if it were down 60%, you know, it'd get to 50. Down 70%, it goes to 37.8. So let's say it only goes down 68%. But in every other bear market, the lowest it's ever gone down was down 77%. Went from like 93%, 87%, another 80 something percent, and the last bear market, Bitcoin had went down 77%. So it does, you know, the haircut that it takes, it's less of a haircut each bear market. But to say that, let's say it only goes down 60%, right? Which it would be like unheard of. It'd still go down to a $50,000 market cap or a $50,000 Bitcoin. But again, if we're talking 68%, which is I think is a little more realistic, goes down to 40. Does it do that? Oh, today's Sunday too. My days are all mixed up here. You have a lot of MicroStrategy people, because MicroStrategy got destroyed the other day. And if you're a long-term believer, long-term holder, you're absolutely doing whatever you can to buy more shares, because this is insane. This is an insane price. But again, if you look at the trends of what Bitcoin's been, you know, has done over the past several bear markets, yeah, 40K, like what happens to MicroStrategy if Bitcoin goes down to 40K? Does MicroStrategy go, you know, lose another 20 something percent? Probably. You know, we'll see. Maybe Zombie says, yo, what up, Zombie? How's it going? Meow, meow, meow. But yeah, that now obviously for Zombie to make a prediction like that a year ago and have it hit spot on like October 15th, let's say like the Ides of October, probably not, you know, it give or take several weeks or a month or so, right? Maybe it's September, maybe it's November, but he's been so far pretty spot on, despite a lot of people, including me, being like, bro, I don't know. Yeah, he's been pretty spot on for that. Anyway, now it could, let's say he's off by several months. Where would the bottom be in? Is the bottom going to be in July? Or is the bottom going to be in, you know, January? You know, if we give him like a little wiggle room, yeah, it's possible that he's off by a couple months, and the bottom is next month. Or it's the other way, and the bottom is in January, and we have, you know, another half a year of pain. You know, we're not sure. Hope Zombie is right. Keep DCA, and yeah. Oh God, if any of my companies sell by that, and honestly, I'm not even like, it's not. I'm picturing none of my companies selling this year. Hey, Javicat, I picked up Secret Rare Ryu from Stacker the other day. Have to get a few others to complete the Street Fighter set, but it's worth it for sure. These will be Grail pieces due to the burn. Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, if I were to get any of my other stuff sold, Oh, I would just buy Bitcoin at this point. And not saying that other things can't run while Bitcoin is down. Obviously, we've seen that happen many times before. But at this point, I'm just gonna stack Bitcoin. I how much will I get? I don't know. And because again, like let's say I buy Bitcoin at 40K and then it goes down to like 28. And it's like, well, fuck. The best thing for me would probably be high risk lending. But even high risk lending, even if I go with my boy, where it's like 15% a year, like guaranteed, cool. But it's like that's better than, you know, that's better than buying Bitcoin at 40 and then it going down to 28. But then it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you bought Bitcoin at 19K last bear market and then it went down to what it went down like 13, you're probably shitting your pants. Be like, fuck, bro. Like I knew this whole Bitcoin thing was a scam. And then now you're like, even now when it's down 50 something percent, you're sitting pretty because you bought it at 19. But you know, at the time, it doesn't feel great when you buy something at 19 goes down to 13. So I understand that, but again, like they're very happy now. So I think if you buy at 40K, even if it goes to 28K, you're probably going to be happy, 2 years from now. Give me 1 sec. Sorry, thought I heard something. But yeah, like if you can withstand the short-term volatility, and you're probably going to be okay. In a couple of years, you'll probably be happy. But then it gets to the point where it's like, okay, let's say it goes up to $250,000 top of the next bull cycle. Do you sell at 125? Like, let's say it's going to a quarter million. Like, let's say we know $250,000. Okay, well, we know it's going to $250,000. Why would we sell at 125? At some point, the Bitcoin dominance will drop super hard, and again, you might not have an alt season because we didn't this cycle. Like this last cycle, there was no blow off top. There was no alts. Like you had like Solana and Doge and Cardano. They went up fine, but you didn't have that mass euphoria that everyone had in 2021, and that might not ever happen again. Like we have to be real, where throw any money at anything and it'll go up, because there's a lot of projects out there right now, most of which are trash. But the hope is that the good projects, Dfinity, DevX, Fias, OMI, Dacat, that they get noticed for what they are, and oh, okay, these are actually legit businesses. These aren't just random meme coins. There's utility here. You can do stuff here, and all that. So that's the hope. But again, it also might not happen. But if it does, yeah, sell Bitcoin at 125, even though, let's say we know it's going to 250, which nobody knows, but let's say we know. And then at that point, if alts haven't really run yet, what is it going to do? Is it going to do the same as in 2025 and alts just won't run? And Bitcoin just gets crushed again? Or do we have a massive quadruple leveraged alt season where everything goes insane, everything that should go insane? Meme coins are mostly trash, but there's going to be some that are going to go insane, because it will. Yeah, at that point, for me, I would sell all the Bitcoin at 25K, knowing it probably goes to $250,000, because that 2x isn't really going to mean much when other stuff is going to go 10, 50, 100, 1000x, But you don't have to do that. You could just take it out and just chuck it into savings, buy real estate, do whatever. Yeah, so all right, let's go over some of the stuff from because we got a $5,000 bounty on Guile 1987 and Bison 1987. Where are we at here? All right, let's go to M Bison. And let's see what he's at today. All right, there are a lot. All right, so 292 have been sold. Let me go to do something real quick. Oh, all right, another 19. 34. So, Jesus. So $9,300. Actually $9,360 have been sold of M Bisons this month. Not bad. I think that's more than Katara made. Well, Katara's been out for like a day, right? Let's see what she actually was. Oh, she actually made 15K. Really? Huh. Okay, not bad. I didn't think she made that much, but yeah, she made 15K. Let me see what the Aang Waterbender one got. Because, oh, actually, let me craft. Hold on. Yeah. And the additions here. How many were crafted? 152, and there's 25. Hold on. All right, so I only made 38 hundo. Yes, ingredients will be locked. Understand. Do you ever feel like a... Okay, sorry. Ow, my back. Yeah, I know. All right, sorry. Gotta get my... I never crafted my Avatar Aang Waterbender here, so I gotta craft it now. Yes, crafts will be locked. Oh no, I have the gems. Yeah, I got 26 gemmies there, but it's not letting me do it. Okay, why is that being gay? All right, I will X out and I will do this again. All right, there. I'm gonna select addition, craft and pay. There we go. Okay, confirm craft. Craft order received. I'll let you know what mint number I get for the Waterbender Aang. Yes, my craft has been completed. All right. Collectibles. Number 307. Nice. Okay. Let's go to Guile. I don't think Guile got nearly as much as M Bison, because M Bison's a little cooler. You know that Cody Rhodes is playing Guile in the Street Fighter movie? I did not know that. Love Cody Rhodes. He looks great. And yeah, definitely an American. I am a real American. Okay, how many has been? All right, so 115 total. Give me one sec here. Oh, all right, 115. So that is 22. So that's 66. So we have 66 times 4. So 2640. In Guiles this month so far. Bitcoin gets to 35 or below, looking to leverage half of what I got into it. That's fair. It'll be a nice 3x for you at some point. I honestly probably be a nice like 8x for you at some point, you know. Not financial advice. 3K DEVVE buy at 33 cents. And dump shortly after because of the project delay, like you mentioned, and everyone getting impatient left a nasty taste in my mouth. But I'm not offloading. It'll pump again. Agree. Also now because they're gonna basically drop us a new token. We don't know when. Yeah, we'll see. He's got to hear it from legal first. Like legal's got to be the one to say like, hey, you can do this. I think the snapshot will be when the liquidity was cut off, but you know, I don't know. We're not sure yet. It says, and SpaceX will be sucking liquidity out of crypto for a while. I mean, it kind of already did. Like it kind of did that already. Like, is it Going to continue? Maybe. I mean, there's also not that much liquidity in crypto. Like, there's not. Give me one sec here. What is the total market cap of everything? You know, it's a $2 trillion market cap. So I'm not overly confident that. Hold on, let me go to Yahoo Finance. SPCX. Because I know we fell under the. Oh, we're actually at 2 trillion. So SpaceX has around the same valuation as the entire crypto market. And with SpaceX also has Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So like they clearly value it a bit. Yeah, I just don't know how much more, you know, can be withdrawn from. I mean, clearly we're going to go back down. Give me one sec. Clearly we're going to go back down under a $2 trillion market cap for crypto, but you know, how much is the question. We'll see. VeVe Zombie, give me those eyes. 49 FJTT NWF349. 15K seems really low, especially when things like Pump Fund make 1 million per day. They make like 1 million tokens a day, or they make like what is the? I mean, I'm sure they make an insane amount of tokens, which are 99.999% useless. But 15K what? Zombie says YOLO, YOLO, YOLO. Right? Have you seen Interstellar? Yes. I think Matthew McConaughey and Hathaway, Matt Damon, right? Yeah. I think that's the movie we're talking about. I feel like we're approaching the time when we really need that wormhole to show up. As far as like crypto investing or like the world, because the world is, I think the world's doing pretty well, and there's going to be a lot of great guys in the next 5 to 10 years. They will have solved reverse aging, and choose what age you want to be, and you can do that. Obviously, if you're you can't be 30 if you're 20, but as far as you know, you can keep your youthful looks. You can keep, you can, yeah, as long as you can afford it, you can do it. It's like that movie with Justin Timberlake and 13 from House. Olivia Wilde, I think her name was. As long as you can afford it, can kind of be however much age you want. I would love to revert back to my 20s. That would be great. My body hurt less. I also weighed a little bit less, but also I had a, oh dude, I had a thing today. Give me one sec. I somehow gained 1.5 pounds over the last, like I was 188.5 the other day, 190.1 today, and it's like, and like I peed twice before I drank anything in the morning. I was like, this is ridiculous. So I said, you know what, body, if you want to gain weight, good fucking luck. I ran 3 miles and I had 90 grams of protein and 865 calories today. Good luck gaining weight, body, when I keep you under 1,000 calories a day. Yeah. I will starve you. Cardinal Goat Slayers is my $20 long term of chill guy. Coin was rugged. I can't swap it for anything. Burn it all down. Burn it to the ground. The world, wars, earthquakes. Okay. Wars have been a part of us forever. I think when people were probably more worried for the world, and there probably was a lot of worry when like the Spanish flu was here, wiping out hundreds of millions, when like socialism and communism, you know, were killing hundreds of millions. World War II, influenza, like all of this stuff, Black Plague. The world is fairly positive, and humanity is going in a great direction. And I know things are different and things are changing. Like what Bob Dylan song, "The times they are changing. Come gather round, people, wherever you roam." Oh God, that's such a good song. I would much rather be alive today than at any other time. Um, it wasn't that long ago that blacks and whites couldn't marry. Like it was illegal. Like that is insane. Um, but it was last century. It was within what, like 80 years ago? Less. Um, yeah, I think the world is going into a pretty great place. And again, like there's certain things that like we all have our proclivities and we all have our things like, oh, well, things were better. Like I see it all the time from people that grew up in the 80s, like, oh, and kids that grew up in the 90s, we kind of had a little bit of that. Especially if you weren't in like the big cities. Like the big cities change first, and then it makes its way to the suburbs, and then it makes its way to the like. I remember 2016. I was deployed with this guy Snow. His home family in like Alabama or something. They still had dial up. I was like, what? It's 2016. I'm sure he's got something better now, but I was like, that is insane. But simple farm life that he had before joining. It's like, yeah, I mean, this is what we did. Like, and yeah. Um, he's a good dude. Miss him. Anyway, I think the world's going a great place. But either way, Interstellar is an absolute masterpiece, Christopher Nolan. Yeah. Um, I've seen it twice. Once, so I went like a long time without seeing it. I wasn't like boycotting it or anything, but I just like I thought it was like overhyped. I was like, it can't really be that good. Like, can it? And then my friends Nick and Meg, they were just like, oh, bro, no, you got to see it. Like, we're watching it tonight. I was like, okay. So had some food, we had some drinks, and yeah, it was great. And like I remember him saying, "He's like, bro, I wish I was you watching this for the first time again." I was like, "Bro, it can't be that good." I was like, "Okay, it was pretty freaking good." It was great. And then I watched it again, and then I was like, "Okay, I understand what he meant because it's still good, but it's nowhere near as special the second time." For reverse aging, do you mean by way of synthetic adrenochrome? I don't know if I'm going to be on that boat. I'm not going to pretend to understand the pitch that I was given, but the best that I can explain it is that at the end of your DNA, you have little tails called telomeres. And if you, as your body, like let's say if you had, your body's pretty good at replicating itself. But as it replicates, as it makes new cells, it tends to uh, every now and then have a little bit of a mistake in there. Now, I think magnesium's used in making new cells. So if you have lost blood, if you have like a wound, all right, magnesium's good for making a lot of those cells. Folate is good for repairing damaged cells. I might have gotten those mixed up, but folate's really good for that. So they're a really good combination to take. None of this is medical advice. They're a really good combination to take if you have if you want to have near perfect replication of your cells, and then to the ones that aren't perfect, fix them. So that really helps as far as aging and freezing time. The other thing that works really well is, but if you have cancer though, magnesium and folate are like the worst things you could take because the cancer will use the magnesium to create more of it and it will fix. Yeah, it's horrible to take that if you have cancer. But for your telomeres, heard it pronounced multiple different ways. Vitamin D really helps as far as making sure the tails that are on the ends of your DNA do not shorten. There's a study done that said people that have high IU intake, maybe like 10,000 IUs a day, versus people that don't have like really any IUs a day, their tails on the end of their telomerase are longer. Like they get shorter, slower. So somebody that's, let's say, like smoking and drinking and has a really sedentary lifestyle, their tails on the ends of their DNA get super short super quickly. But people that are not drinking and they're exercising a lot and they have good, a lot of high vitamin D IUs, their tails don't shorten near as quickly. So that's a good part of it. But from what I understand, like AI is and then blood too. Like blood, like your body is like, my body's old. My body's 35. It makes 35-year-old. It makes, but if you're 18, you're like, it's great. Like remember how it was drinking in your 20s, where it's like, I could be on LSD. I could be very, very drunk at like 1 a.m. and then literally like at 7:30 the next morning. Okay, let's get up. Let's do some shows. Let's do some deadlifts. Let's like, can't do that anymore. The recovery from things when you're younger is so much better. Like, I think for me, like 15, me and my friends, like doing wrestling shit, doing WWE, we would like knock each other off ladders. Like we were doing actual boxing as well. We're doing actual fighting. And we would look like hell one day. And then the next, we'd be fine 2 days later. Now, my back will never be the same, but most of my body will never be the same. The reverse aging would be something similar to the proper nutrition, but also like, your body is ones and zeros. It's software, and it just needs an update. Again, Wes said this the other day. If I had a nickel for every time Randy said we're in a simulation, it makes sense. And if we're in a simulation, then we are ones and zeros, and everything that is wrong with us essentially becomes a software issue. Like what if we are like, remember how when you were when I was in like middle school and CDs were still like a big thing, and okay, well, what did you do when you got a scratch on it? You got a scratch on a CD, it doesn't work. I think with deodorant you can like fill that in, or some type of wax, and it still plays. But yeah, for the most part, you're hacked. And I think, if you have these breaks in your DNA, if you have these scratches on it, they're going to have a way to like repair them. And I'm very, very excited for it. Kill the flesh. Not 100% sure what that means, but you let me know. You further explain, but also thank you for being a member. I'll bet you anything that in 10 years they won't have reverse aging. I'm sure you would, but it seems like, AI is going to solve this problem very quickly, because that's a multi-trillion-dollar industry. Like that is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. And it's like, well, Chavez, what you said already, blood transfusions from, young people in conjunction with, eating healthy and living right, like you can just pretty much stay young doing that, right? Yeah. Most people don't do it. Like, why there's like, most people are fat? It's because pizza tastes great, and beer is great, and drinks are great, and ice cream's great. And a lot of us, me included, are just not that determined enough to do that. Like I'm fairly obese. It's a little bit better than I was when my back was injured, and better than I was, a few weeks ago, but still fairly obese. Maybe by this time next month I won't be obese. I'll just be overweight. But yeah, this is a multi-trillion-dollar industry, because it's going to be like, look at Ozempic. I think it's funny how the body positivity movement collapsed as soon as Ozempic came out, because people were just using that. I'm like, peptides. I'm sure that there are a few peptides out there that are great, that have no ill side effects. Right now, I think it's a little early to be able to tell that or not. FDA hasn't approved most of them, which a lot of these companies, like, just because you're not FDA approved doesn't mean you're bad. I think it just means that the right people haven't got it set up to make enough money yet, probably for the most part. But no, like when there's this much money involved in something like this, especially the AI, yeah, 5 to 10 years, they'll have solved it. Now, granted, it's going to be, when it comes out, it's going to be for the 1%. It's not going to be readily available to everybody right away, but at some point, it'll get cheaper. 0.1% of the US still on. That is insane. How are y'all still on dial-up? I think I had dial-up 20-something years ago. Absolutely bananas. Bill Gardner saying, what up? Yeah, what's going on, Bill Gardner? Meow, meow, meow. How you doing? How you doing, Bill? We love you. Okay, anyway, let's get to... all right, what's OMI at today? 00018, up about 0.5% on the day. We actually had a little bit of a green candle there. Come back down. I'll probably continue to go back down. Overnight, it is Sunday. Not a whole ton of things going on with crypto. Fiat's up 4%, $1.1 million market cap. DEFINITY has $448 in volume, up or down 0%, just under $1 million market cap. DEVVE, the liquidity pools have been taken out. They are going to give us a new token, so do not buy or sell any DEVVE right now. A new token will be airdropped or something at some point. Tom will let us know. The cat up over $500,000 market cap, up almost 1% on the day. There's $600 in volume. It's wild where DEFINITY, that is doing hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, has a market cap of under $1 million. Like, the market cap of DEFINITY is not even 2x of what the cat is. That is insane. Like, that is it. That, yeah, no other words. What is your BMI? I have no idea. It is harder to tell with people that have muscle, because muscle tends to weigh a little bit more. Again, I'm not saying that, oh yeah, I'm just big bone stuff. No, I acknowledge I am obese. I don't, BMI, a lot of athletes don't trust it because, again, when you have muscle, it doesn't calculate. But I would say I have like 25, 30% body. It's a lot. Okay. I'll calculate it. Hold on, let me. Okay, BMI calculator. 235, male, 69 inches. Everyone comment nice down below, 69. 190. Yeah. Okay, so very close to being obese, the 28.1. But again, there is a bit of muscle, so I don't know how much of this is. I mean, generally you see abs coming in at around 15%. Let me see something here real quick. I might have a. So when I was, and this is a long time ago, but okay, maybe I don't have it here with me. Maybe I gotta. Okay, so this isn't my best photo, but this is again in my 20s. I would say about, I don't know, 15%, give or take. So I was about 169 there, 170. I think I had gotten down to 167. So that minus a couple pounds, but yeah, I would say, but now I'm a bit bigger, like I just muscle wise. So give me Um, 1 second here. It is getting a little hot. So yeah, a little bit of, and most of the muscle I have is really more around like the shoulders and back. A little bit of the arms, but not anything crazy. So with that, I would say they're saying that a healthy weight, for the height of for a guy, saying 125 to 169 is fucking insane. Like there's no way. That 125, the 125 is like anorexic. Even when I was like one, again, in that picture you saw, I was like 169, 170. That was thin. Like my arms were noodle arms. Um, but yeah, I could probably, so if I'm 190 now, I'll start. I mean, I will have a cheat day on July 4th because, but aside from that, I'm really not going to do any crazy cheating until about 179. I'll see where I really need to lose it. That, like, I mean, I know it's all like in the stomach, but are you tracking things like memory RAM? Did you see Micron absolutely kill? I did see that. I think AI is so thirsty for memory. So here's where you should have came to Whale Week. Here's where we saw the biggest thing that AI is using. Yeah, so I think Apple wants to go to, they're trying to get approval, or was it Apple? They're trying to get approval from the US government and say, like, hey, we need memory chips. Can we buy this from China? Please. And I think the US might say yes, because they want Apple to do great things, and they can only do them if they, unless they're held back. But yeah, so AI needs memory, and it also needs energy. It needs electricity. So data centers are huge, electricity, but we think nuclear fusion is going to be that end all be all for like going nuts. Who was saying what that? The Cooper's good evening. Good evening, Mr. Curtis Cooper. How you doing, girl? How you doing? Yeah, I did that, but again, the BMI like that. Again, it's saying for someone that height, 125 to 169 is ridiculous. Like 125 would be super, super anorexic. It would not be good at all. But yeah, and again, even when I was in the 170, 167 to 170, like I still did have a little bit of muscle, but it was just not a lot. But yeah, I would say it says, yeah, lose 20.7 pounds. Yeah, that'd be fine. But again, I want to be. I'll see how I am at 179 and go from there. Wait, oh, shows news. I had pants on. Wow, and 30. Yeah, like I said, I consider myself obese because, well, one, I was a top athlete, so there's no, it's very hard to be great and then like be down, at mediocrity. And I know you're Deadpool stripper. I never did them at the same time. I was never Deadpool and a stripper at the same time. They're always different. Mayo's 215. Mountain 207s. Our need Oreos more often, the fact that I didn't intentionally lose the weight. Well, I think you look good. So whatever you're doing, keep it up. 5'9" should be around 170. Again, if you don't have muscle, that's probably okay. But when you have a bit of muscle, again, in that picture that I showed you, I was about 170. And that was, with some muscle, and you see the abs showing. So it, and again, I got a few pounds under that as well, but 170 is fairly thin. Again, if you don't have muscle, 170 is probably okay. I don't know. 'Cause muscle weighs a bit more. We'll see. AI with memory is the key to AI takeover. Meow. Yeah, see, Atomic 06 knows BMI is total rubbish for athletes, male athletes especially rubbish. Again, preach. I don't know how long you've been here for, but I'm talking about that with us as well. For athletes, it's harder to do it because muscle weighs a bit more than the like. Let's see if we can do this. Pounds of fat versus 10 pounds of muscle visual. Yeah, okay. All right, so this is 5 pounds of fat and 5 pounds of muscle. Like, so clearly there is a that's why BMI for athletes is different. And again, why any athlete worth their salt doesn't really use that. Like if I were to just go around, like I'll be in Boston next weekend. If you're around, say hi. I would be considered like normal, in America, like, you're fine, maybe like slightly husky or slightly muscular, but again, when you were like a top athlete, to go to where I am now is like, ugh, doesn't feel good. AI agent, our memory banks show due to incognito search history, you're labeled a you're labeled a gooner by US feds, straight to prison, sir. Oh god, that is hysterical. Did you see the Ninja reboots or the Ninja robots? I saw that they were teaching these robots how to do like karate or karate, as some call it. You should be making me money, with your spatula. Now get back to work. Aye, aye, capite. Yes, I did see that. The robots that knew like some type of karate or ninjutsu or whatever Naruto jutsu. Yeah, that was wild. AI robots in China keep face kicking. we might have all seen the same clip. Pick at 170, you still had lower abdominal fat though, so you could go. So again, that wasn't the best photo. Oh, did I X out of it? Yeah, like I was. Oh god, let me find it again. The heck was it? I can't find it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, clearly there's. I mean, for me, like I was always gonna have chunk on me. But again, like really slender arms, but yeah, there was still some chunk there. And again, I did get down to 167. So that minus 2.5 pounds, give or take. And if I really wanted to, I probably could have gotten down to like 164, but I also didn't feel healthy. Like I was fairly lethargic. There wasn't. So it was mostly for cosplay. Uh, no, no. Let's say, bruh. Cardinal said, I'm 6'1", my kickboxing weight is 165. Oh my god. Comfortable, walk around 180. Biggest I was 196, still able to pass 2-mile run. That was during Iraq deployments. Yeah, we all get huge on deployment. Like, there's nothing else to do in the desert but eat and work out. Like, there's nothing else to do but eat and work out. So you just come back yoked. And then like 6 weeks after deployment, we're all fat again. Like it's damn, you were oh my god. Lean AF. That is thin. So I've been the same height since I was 13. And I was like 138, at like 13. I was very, eventually I got to I'm trying to think what I was in. Yeah, I was around one again, but when you're like 15 and you're like 150, let me see. I think I might have a photo actually. Give me one sec here. Where would it be? Okay, I got to go to this. There's a group chat that I've been in. Oh gosh. Okay. Search to put in teen because I think that was. I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby. I'm just a teenage dirtbag. Okay, I can just the images here. Hang on. Listen to Iron Maiden, maybe like you. Ooh. I don't. Yeah, I don't. I have a. Oh no, I don't. I don't have it. Yeah, but like again, when you're 15 and you're 155 or whatever, and like 17, uh, 16, it's like you're real. You're just there's just no fat. It's yeah. Chavi looks good, man. The arms, all the. Unfortunately, you're right. Yeah, like ladies love abs, but you have to. I don't want to say be careful, but yo, right backs. Turn out super chat. Motomichi. We were talking about that a bit before. I will be live for it tomorrow. There are other people. DG Vet as well is putting his what's it called? DG Vet is putting up some MCP. I don't know how much yet. I haven't gotten the intel from people. Oh, my back. But we will go in and continue to get this bread. So okay, gotcha. I saw that you got the last text. Yeah, so I'll be live tomorrow again for it. I still have to go over some of the news here today, but I might save some of the news for tomorrow morning as well. Teenage dirtbag. Yeah, dude, such a banger. So good. Cardinal Gold Slayers, beat rank gaining weight has always been an issue. My basal metabolic rate is fairly high. I can eat pizza and pasta all day with little repercussion. I had that when I was younger. Like when I was like 15, at the end of every day, I would eat a sleeve of chocolate Chips Ahoy cookies slathered in peanut butter. Like I would eat a sleeve of chocolate Chips Ahoy cookies and slathered them in peanut butter. It had to be like at least for that last midnight snack before I went to bed is at least 1,000 calories. And I barely gained anything. And now granted, I'm running like 5 miles a day. I'm doing like hours of boxing. Like you're burning it all off. But and that was on top of like other good quality food that I was eating, as much as I could. Now, granted, I had Taco Bell and I had Wednesday and all that, but I had other good food as well. Um, yeah, it was just hard to gain weight when really I didn't start to fill out up until like 19. Like then I started getting into the 170s, and had a bit, but I had a very hard time gaining weight when I was younger. Now, obviously, very easy time gaining weight. That's why I'm not getting tall. Yeah, I at 13, I was like, bro, I'm gonna be like 6'4", and then I just stopped growing. Um, God decided to nerf me because I became too powerful. Powerful like the Motomichi drop tomorrow. Hell yeah. Be honest, 2026 dad bods are a thing. Someone like, okay, no, they don't. I'm gonna get canceled over here. Don't listen to what women say. Look at what they respond to. Women love abs, but my friend more. So you'll know Las Vegas Barbie. She's on X. One of my favorite quotes from her is, "Abs on a skinny guy is like big tits on a fat chick." I'll repeat: abs on a skinny guy is like big tits on a fat chick. Her quote, not mine. And it's like true, like yeah, if you have little noodle arms, like again that picture I showed you when I had my arms were baby arms, like I had abs, and but if I were to wear like a sleeveless shirt, then like yeah, you can kind of tell. Okay, yeah, it looks like he's in shape. Took the shirt off. Okay, the abs, yeah, um, but yeah, it's unfortunately like you could just have decent arms, and women will just want you if you have other redeeming qualities as well. But yeah, Arms and shoulders are really women tend to like. Don't know why. I mean, dad bod gets cheated on with six packs. Yeah, I mean, I think girls say they like dad bods because they're safe and they know that it's going to be a little bit harder to cheat on you if and this is the other thing that girls don't really get is that take a good looking dude and then let's say a good looking dude, let's say he's been with 100 women, and then you get with and then there's a dude that's been with like two women. I bet the dude that's had like two women will probably cheat on you before the dude that had 100 women. Why? Well, I'll tell you this. I've never cheated on a girl. I'm very proud of that. And I get it, the Chris Rock, like, what, you want a cookie? You're not supposed to cheat on your girl. Like, I get it. But I've had every opportunity to, and I've never done it. And I think the reason why is that when you're after you pass a certain threshold of being not just with women, but like very good looking women, that doesn't mean anything anymore. Like if another girl tries to seduce you, like a very good looking girl, like, okay, so like I've had better than you. I've been with, like it's not gonna work. But if you're a guy that's like a 4 and he's been with like a 3 and another 4 and he gets an opportunity from like an 8 or a 9, I don't know if that dude, like, again, I would put my money on the better looking dude that's been with a lot of women to not cheat as opposed to the average looking dude. Yeah, just my controversial thought of the day. I also have no problem fasting for 2 days at a time, blame on deployments. Um, Again, I only had, and I'm pretty sure I burned 350 calories while running this morning, but what did I have here? Yeah, I only had 865 calories today. So my body is wanting food bad, but I'm not going to give it to it because again, if my body was gaining, like I was having, and I would understand it if I was having, like maintenance calories of like 2,800 and maybe I just drank some extra water. I've been eating like 1,900 calories while working out. Like, so my body just decided to be stupid. And I was like, okay, you want to gain weight? This is what we'll do. Corrective behavior for your body. Dad bod only accepted. Yeah. Yeah. And again, you could be very cute, right? You could be a guy, you could be very good looking, you could have six pack. Like if you don't have a car, if you drive like a beat up like Honda Civics are great cars. I love those cars. But if you drive a shitty car and you live in a shitty place and you just don't have a good job, like, a girl might have you for a night or so, and she's gonna be embarrassed to say like, oh yeah, I was with him. Like she's not gonna say it, right? Because public body count for girls are a thing. You're gonna get disrupted. Like, why do 18-year-olds have like such a hard time with girls? It's because like they have to compete with 24-year-olds that are out of college and are making six figures. Why are like it women tend to go to success and women tend to like qualities in men that breed success. They like determination, hard work, generosity, and those types of things like breed success and that breeds wealth. So yeah. You could be as young and as hot as you want, and if you can sing, you can dance, you can act, yeah, girls like you. If you're in movies, girls are gonna want you anyway. You have followers, girls are gonna want you anyway. But yeah, success definitely outweighs pretty much all of that. If you have, $100 million, it doesn't matter what you look like. You're golden. Yes, but there's a rule. You have to have the dad bod plus six-figure income combo. Then it defeats a six-pack. It's science. Honestly, six figures is not even that much anymore. I mean, that's like the trinity that girls want. Like 6 feet, six-pack, 6 inches, kind of like the trinity that girls want. Because anyone under 6 feet, again, I'm 5'9", anyone under 6 feet, girls tend to look at as not real men. At first glance, like you could be 5'11" and like it's fine, but so you're close. But again, 5'9" is like, oh, a little too far there. But like from starting looks, like I'm a few inches shorter, a few shades darker, and many pounds heavier than like an ideal man is supposed to be. Got to get him with the Riz, bro. Got to get him with the Riz. Got to dress well, get strong, eat well, and that's it. That's all you need. And have a nice car. This pack is cheaper than dad bod. I'll invest in fasting and high protein, pauper life versus food and overlord stat. Yeah. I will join. Dude, if my back was better, this weight loss would be going. Like I can't go as hard in the gym. I can't go as hard running. I don't even know if I can jump rope. The back is still not great, but we'll see. Solid 2. Nah, dude. So, guy, we are so privileged here. Guys, also as you get older, and I don't know. Girls like the salt and pepper hair. They like a little bit of gray, like Kurt's cool with a little bit of gray in that beard. Got it going on. Girls like that. They respond to it. Huge wallet. Wait, you said 6? That's the trinity of what girls like. 6 feet, 6 figures, and 6 inches. Generally what girls like. Yeah, money, you can basically get any girl. I wouldn't say that. Money is definitely an aspect, but if you only have money, you're only going to attract the type of girl that just wants you for your money, which is fine for a night or two or weekend, or you want to have several of those nights. But like I would much rather have a girl that's a 7 that genuinely loves me, as opposed to like a 9 that's like, she loves my money and she kind of likes me. Like she'll, lick me in spots where the sun don't shine, and she'll, do it with a smile on her face. But, a girl that genuinely loves you, that is, that is, you can't pay for that. Like that is not something like I'm going to quote Falcone over here. That is not something you can buy, Mr. Wayne. Like you can't, like you buy a girl's body, for a night. Or if you're a heavy roller and pay a girl like $150K a year, yeah, come on vacation with me, let me book you whenever, and sure. But a girl that genuinely loves you, like that is worth its weight in gold. And there's some people out there, some dudes that are just like, that'll try to like manipulate girls into like being with them and stay with them, and it doesn't work. Like, why would you try to? It's like parents that want to like control their kids. Like the tighter you squeeze, the more they're going to slip through your fingers. So again, money only gets certain types of girls. Obviously, you have to have other money will obviously get that, but you have to have other qualities aside from that. Being very conscientious, being hardworking, being generous, all of those are other things that women look for as well. Those are physical 6s. I love you guys. Dude, my era keeps asking for 8. Let me see what percentage of dudes have 8. What percentage of dudes in America? This is I can't believe I'm Googling this. AI in 8-inch, fully saluted little airman is exceedingly rare and occurs in less than 0.01%, or about 1 in 100,000 men. I feel like it's more common than that. says by standard scientific average for the American, let's just say little airman in the US is roughly 5.5 to 5.7, with the vast majority of men falling between 5 and 6. To get a better idea of how these stack up, 50th percentile average is 5.5. Where did they get these numbers from? National Center for Biotechnology Information. Okay. That's a good center. Yeah, so, but again, so there's what women want and there's what women will accept and tolerate. Women will say they want a guy that does X, Y, and Z or whatever, like, and if you give women what they want, that is not a good long-term angle for success and happiness. It's not. I'm going to get in so much trouble here. I don't know if I should say this. I've served with women that are my equal. Some are better. Some are like, there are women out there that are better than me at lots of things, that are better than a lot of men at a lot of things. Some are smarter, some are better, more. They're just, there's an upper echelon of women that are just better than most men at most things. That is fairly rare, but you know, that happens. There are other women that I serve with that are my equal. There are other women that I serve with that, you know, I was better than in many things, but a lot of respect. And again, there's some that I would trust with my life, and I'm best friends with some of them. Like, there's some women that I'm just best friends with. But, and I'm generalizing here, there are a fair amount of women that I've dated is, I think, maybe not necessarily that I've been in a relationship with, but a fair amount of them was just like, you have to like take care of, like, and I don't mean like, okay, you know, like support them, like, yeah, you're gonna be the breadwinner, and in case, you know, evil happens to come your doorstep, you got to be the one to, you know, take them out and protect, like, yeah, that's all a given being a guy. But I mean, like, making sure they eat, like, I mean, like, feeding them, like, feeding them proper thing, like, it's so again, giving women just what they want, they will surely want to go to Target every day and eat out every day and do this every day, and like, but again, if what they want, like long-term stuff, is, if you give that to them, one, they're not going to respect you. If you always just give in to them and say yes to everything, they're just not. Women will say they want something, but what they really want, what they really respond to, is like a leader, is a dude that will say no, that'll have boundaries, that'll have like rules. And all the feminists out there are cursing me right now. They don't want my head, but that's just what they respond to. And again, I don't necessarily care about what women say, I care about what they respond to. And why do a lot of simps complain that, oh yeah, nice guys finish last and assholes get the girls? Because it's true. You want to be a simp and you want to do everything for a girl and be like, yeah, whatever you want, sweetie, you're a queen, put her on a pedestal. That girl is not going to respect you because you're saying that she's better than you. And maybe sometimes, yeah, you date up, and yeah, good for you if that happens. A lot of women don't date up. Or I'm sorry, a lot of women don't date down. Women will typically only date across and up the dominance hierarchy. If a woman's making 50,000 a year and you're making 40, she's not dating you. If a woman has a master's degree and you don't have any college, she's probably not going to date. Now, again, you could not have college and be making 200K a year, and that woman makes like 80, and okay, that way, again, women typically only date across and up the dominance hierarchy. And yeah, they typically won't go for a guy that makes, they'll never go for a guy that makes less than them, almost never. If you make about the same, okay. But again, if you're under 6 foot you're starting at a big disadvantage because they consider you almost not a person. And they have this like the feminine, like I back in the day, like a feminist used to be like just wanting equal rights for women and wanting equal opportunities for women. And yeah. But then it became like just man hating, and that movement has been detrimental for women. Because men do all of these like great things, like build these tall buildings and they go to war and like they and women will use that excuse like, oh well, how many men are CEOs of the top Fortune 500 companies, and how many are women? It's like, okay, well, the top Fortune 500 or any CEO, yeah, it's dominated by men. Okay, well, why? Well, why would you want to be in that position to be a CEO of like, because it's not like you're a CEO of a company, like let's say like David, right? He's not just sitting in his chair, kicking back with his feet up, smoking a cigar. He's got an insane amount of responsibility. VeVe has dozens of people that work for them that rely on David to be competent at his job as CEO to bring in the money and do what they're doing. And I would not want David's job as that is exceedingly stressful. Like in any CEO, you're not working your 40 hours a week. Like no, you're working 80 to 100 hours a week, and you have people, and it's not like you're working at the top and everyone else under you is super competent and they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. That is not what happens at all. You're putting out most of your day is putting out fires of other people's fuck ups. So it's not that men are taking all of the CEO jobs. It's a certain type of men that can do that and not break down. And like most people, if you were trying to be given the job of a CEO of a very large company, you would quit. Like it's too much for most people to handle. But there are men out there that will do that. They will work those 80 to 100-hour weeks. They will give up life, family life, that work-life balance, partially because they know it'll give them access to higher quality women. Because if you're working 80 hours a week and you're making 150, 250K, 500K a year, a woman's gonna be like, oh, daddy, take me now. Whereas if you're working for 35, 40 hours a week and you're making whatever, you'll get a good woman maybe, but you have a much better chance, like your options open way up. But women will use that as an excuse. They'll say like, oh well, men have all the power positions. It's like, okay, well, there are, like I said before, there's a ton of competent women. There's a ton of women that are very good at what they do, that make it high in the military, that make it high in any field. But what happens to a lot of those competent women, because they're the top percentage of competence and income, and like what happens to those women? Why don't they continue to go to the top? Some do, but most others, by the time they're my age, they figure out that like, oh, this kind of sucks, and I would much rather spend time with family. And because women don't date down on the dominance hierarchy, they typically only date across and up. If a woman's making 125K a year and her husband's probably making at least that much, if not more, let's say 200K, both of you don't necessarily need to be making that. And women typically discover in their maybe around 30, maybe even before then, that they would much rather spend their time with the family and raising their own kids and doing all this. And that's so that's a good reason why that a lot of feminists won't tell you, is that it's these hyper competent, hyper successful women's choice to leave that workforce. Say like, this is not worth it. Like, yeah, I do this for the money and I can make good money, but what's the point of this money if I'm miserable? Guys will stay miserable like for that long just because it gives them access to those other women, but women don't need to do that because guys just want to boink anyway. But again, feminists will use that as saying like, oh, men are in those positions of power and the patriarchy. And it's like, okay, well, men are also like, we have Cardinal Goat Slayer. that, you know, me and him are both veterans, and that veteran, and Raythax also, where's he at? He's a vet as well. And which sex dies most in war? Most people who dies of war are men. Most victims of violence are men. Most homeless people are men. Most people who commit suicide are men. So, you know, like where exactly, like, so the patriarchy is supposed to protect men, you know, like it's men have rough lives, and most men are very underappreciated. They, yeah, it's I forget who sent me on this rant, but um yeah, like women want someone that's 6'4". They want someone that makes 150K a year, and they want 8 inch, you know, the blue eyes. Like the men that women want are like in the 1% of 1%. And it's like, okay, yeah, if you're a 9 or a 10, you can probably get that. But if you're a 9 or 10 that wants commitment to the, again, like, I am not that good looking a guy. My hair is gone, my back is gone, my, as determined, I'm fairly close to being obese. I'm drowning in it. I have very good luck with, and part of it is Riz and knowing how to talk, and I'm a writer, so I can say things and put words in a certain way that women like. And yeah, success helps, and um the network helps, and the, you know, when you go out and you dress well, that helps. Everything helps. But I am such a nobody compared to like so many guys, and I, again, drowning in it. And why would a guy that is, let's say, you know, again, 6'2", blue eyes, you know, making a ton of money, like, why would he settle down when he could have a different woman every night? Like, that doesn't so a lot of, so there's something that not a lot of people talk, and really, like, birth control has had that thing, like, okay, you can have fairly unprotected sex, and you don't really have to deal with a lot of consequences from that because of birth control. Like, and like, I get it, this is going a weird way, but um because of that feminist movement that I was talking about before, where it's like, oh no, you're beautiful. Like, there's a bunch of women that are, let's say, and I'll consider myself a 6, right? Like, maybe a 7 on a good day. If I lost the weight, you know, I dress really well, yeah, maybe I'd be like 7. Maybe like if the body's a 9 and the face is like, you know, be like a 7, right? There are some women that are like, let's say around my good lookingness, you know, face card, whatever, that would not pay attention to me. That if I was just a normal dude, they'd just like, you know, what do I want you? You know, a few inches shorter, a few shades darker, and much pounds heavier than a man. That what they want. And because of the feminist movement saying like, oh, you can, yeah, you deserve it. You look great, when they don't look great. You know, they expect that they can get a guy that's an 8. And, you know, if you're a 6, and maybe a guy that's an 8, like, will be like, okay, you know, I'll boink you for a night. But because they get that attention, like, girls have this thing where they think that, oh yeah, because he boinked me, because we boinked, that means I can marry that type of guy. No, it doesn't. It just means that that guy will lower his standards enough to boink you, and that's it. And that gives, unfortunately, a lot of people, like, that is across from them, like another 6, like, girls feel like they're settling, like, oh, but I boinked this 8, like, this guy's a solid 8. And that's probably true, but, you know, he's not willing to marry you. He's willing to boink you because he couldn't get anyone hotter that night. But then the girl thinks, well, I boinked an 8. I'm not going to settle for a 6. I'm just going to keep boinking guys that are 8s and 7s until I get one that's going to marry me. And it's not a good system. It's just not. Um, yeah, 6 foot, 6 figures, the social part that goes with it. Yeah, I mean, your, what is that called? Your network is so important. And Yeah, your network is so important because if you have a, what is that old quote? Show me your friends and I'll show you you. If your friends are all, and again, weed is used. I'm very pro weed. I'm very pro weed for anything. But if you are just smoking weed all day and just playing video games all day and you're not doing anything all day, and don't get me wrong, I love days where I can chill with friends, day drink, play video games. I can't remember the last time I've done that because I've been so freaking busy for the past I don't know how many years. Um, but you know, like to do that every day, it's like, and you're friends with this guy, you know, he's bringing you down. Like that's not, yeah, the social aspect of having people that are also fairly successful and are also, and I'm not saying to like, oh yeah, you don't make certain, you know, can't be my friend. Like, no, I'll be friends with everyone. Friends, I love people. People are great, and people have always taught me stuff. Even if it seems like there's no value there, people are awesome and amazing. Guys, girls, children, everyone. I can bond with anyone. Um, but and honestly, even an introvert probably don't want to go. The introvert probably doesn't want to go out at all. Um, but you want someone happy. You want someone extroverted to like go out with you, to have like, you know, be a wingman. And you want someone to talk you up as well. Um, like whenever me and Crypto Rain go out, um, well, one, I never have anything but good things to say about him because he's an awesome dude, like a genuinely awesome dude, and I'm not lying. Um, but I remember one night, it was yeah, it was November last year, um, hanging out, and there was these two chicks that I'm talking to. I think I was really hungry, and and it was like they got burgers. Like these were chicks that could, and they weren't like fat or, but they. I love a woman that can eat. I love a woman that can just demolish a burger with me. Like yes, let's go on food dates all the time. This is why I'm so fat. Um, and I was like, hey, because we were at this like some line dancing place. I was like, oh, what is that? Like, what is that? That looks so good. And like, oh, it's what I was like, oh my god, that looks great. I like me and my friends are here, can't really get a table. I'm gonna go get some food. If I buy you guys some drinks, you know, can we hang with you? And they're like, yeah, sure. Um, so I order the food, I get the drinks, I come back, and I was like, okay, so like I'm Randy. Tell me about yourselves. And the one that I was with was Jamie. I don't know the other one though. But we're talking, and Rain comes up, is like, hey, these two girls bothering you? I was like, no, 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 it's fine. And suddenly the girl's like, uh, and Rain's like, hey, and he says like, I'm Crypto Rain. Um, and so like, hey, sorry, I just, you know, he's kind of a big deal, and I just wanted to make sure nobody was like bothering him. And they're like, what? And which again, like didn't have to do, like things were going well, but he's just that type of awesome wingman. It's like, yeah, no, he's a big YouTuber, he's big success and finance, and like you talk each other up. Um, so if I'm ever out with like a boy, like a guy, like a friend, not I'm not like out with like dating guys, but if I'm with a friend and I'm wingmanning for him, you want to talk them up. Like, well, when they go to take a leak or when they go to get drinks, like, oh, this is my brother, man. I trust him with my life. I love this guy. He's like, and don't lie. Don't say like, yeah, this dude has like, you know, this mansion and you know, like Fire Island or whatever. Like, no, like be truthful, but talk your boy up. You know, yeah, network definitely has a lot to do with it, and a good wingman. I remember this one dude. This is like 12 years ago. This one dude, Phillips, such a bro. There was this one chick that I was. Um, we met at Pudgy's. It was a karaoke place. It was a sports bar on McGuire Air Force Base, but it was a. Um, but it turned into a karaoke place on a Wednesday, and you know there was a couple girls there. I mean, my boy Phillips, we hit it off, and this one chick had a she had a house just off base, and we go there, and um we're in we're in like her living room den or whatever, and she brings up like the hot tub, and it's like, oh, you got a hot tub. And so we get into the hot tub, and he's like, yeah, like afterwards, he's like, yeah, I knew, and he was a bro because her other friend was not that good looking. But he knew I was super into this chick, and this chick was into me. And he's like, yeah, I knew that if we got into the tub together and then I got out, she'd get out with me so that this way you guys could be able to, I was like, bravo, bro, divide and conquer. And that's exactly what happened. The dude took a bullet. He boinked a not so good looking girl so I could be with the hottie. And I would do that for him too. I would do that for any of my boys out there. If we're hanging and you and this hottie are hitting it off, and the fridge comes to try to protect the snacks, I got you, bro. I'll take that bullet. I'll bite that bullet for you, Cartable Goat Slayer. I'll go whale hunting that night so you can get the hottie, because that is what friends do. Okay, my bad. You look 6. I look 6 feet in person. I'm like 5'9". Those hoes greedy, but oh, there's a lot of, okay. I have not. Okay, we have to get up on the comments. The Trinity 666. Even if you settle for a 7 that loves you, you still need money. Yeah, no, agreed. You because you want the best for your woman, right? You want the best for the people around you. Like, part of the reason why I do this also is because like you should want the best for your friends, of course, which means being the best version of yourself, because you should be able to give them the best version of you. And if you don't have that, it's like you're doing a disservice to them and to you. Nowadays, even to make money, because yeah. Again, people, when I started making Pokemon sales data videos, they would get like 20 views. They weren't a lot. And then I throwing shit at the walls, everything. I was covering Tesla. I was doing obviously Pokemon. I was doing eventually Earth2, and then just like a political thing. And what people really liked about me wasn't necessary. I mean, they liked the data that I was given, and it was great and very good at that. But they liked my pop culture references. They liked me just being weird, and also being weird helps with women too. Now, because like having personality, just like having like, I don't care, like, hey guys, let's go, like, yeah, just yeah, being happy helps. There's a hack. I don't know if I could talk about it. For like, if you're with the one, and like there's a biological hack where you can, I'll say this, if you get really good at knowing your way down below, and because like what happens when you achieve happiness, let's call it, when you give them the big O, oxytocin releases, their cortisol is lowered, like they feel better. And the more times they get that feeling with you, the more you'll rewire their brain to make them associate those feelings with you. And that's how you get them to love you. 6-pack, feet, inches, figure and bank account, total 4 6s. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair. That's unreasonable for all 6 to be met, or they feel like they're settling. Most of them fall outside. Yeah. I can get, yeah, get a couple of those. Get a few. We can help. We can help the 6 figures, and we can help the 6-pack. Can't help height, and can't help your little airman down there. Whatever you have, you're stuck with. But yeah, the other 2 you can get. TSA probably has more accurate data. No, you're probably right. TSA, they be X-raying everybody, bro. They be an X-raying everybody. Non-fungible wonderful, saying, my brother, my brother. Meow, 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 meow. Yep. 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 crazy one. I think that's wrong. I think it's definitely more common for a little airman or a little soldier to be 8 inches. It's definitely more than 1 in 100,000. Like that's very, very low. Like that's insanely low. Like there's it's got to be like maybe 1 in 8,000. You know, I don't know. I mean, there's got to be, right? Like a fully adult child. No, oh, girls, yeah. Like you got to make sure you feed them, and they like. There are some girls that I was like weren't in a relationship with, but that dating that were like, bro, you like, how did you survive without me? Like to make sure they live. I don't want to show, but I think I won the lottery, mates. Get that bread, boo. Get that bread. Take me to the casino. Yeah, I'll take you to the casino. No problem. Bruh, girls nowadays hate leaders, hate being told what to do. No. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me finish. They want to be baddies, baddie Miami trips, and don't want a man, but want a man to pay your bills. They're short yellow bus certified. Okay, let's break this down. When I say, bro, girls nowadays hate leaders, hate being told what to do, they might verbalize that, but most women want that. Like they want to be told what to do. They want that. Like and even if they say they don't, like that's what they respond to. And even like I'll give you an example. I have to be careful how I fucking most women, if you ask them, will say like, hey, would you let your guy be with other girls? Hell no. Like, right? Like immediately, hell no. But there's a fair amount of women that I have been with, both in relationships, out of relationships, that if you set that as a parameter, be like, hey, I want to do this. And if that's a deal breaker and they say no, then by all means, then you don't do it or you break up. There are some women that won't be happy about it, but they'll accept it. They'll be like, fine. Like that it'll happen. Like they'll be verbally against it. They won't be happy about it, but they'll let it happen. They'll like, again, if you're with a girl that says like, hey, no, don't do that, and then you go and do it anyway, that's cheating. That's wrong. You don't do that. Or if the girl's like, hey, I don't want to do that, and you could say like, okay, I won't do that, or you break up. So again, there's what women say they want, and there's also what they're willing to tolerate. If you're a high quality dude, they will tolerate it. Yes, the hoe is life phase, the wannabe baddies, I've seen it. I've seen all of that, and honestly, if you're a young guy in your 20s, that is great for young hot guys in their 20s and 30s and whatever age, girls will. This is why a lot of guys like say like, hey, I don't want you going to clubs, I don't want you going having girls nights, because like there are so many examples. Like I've had a couple experiences myself, but I've seen a bunch. But there was this one girl, I won't say her name, let's call her Squirtle. It's Comic-Con 2019, maybe. I think maybe it's 2017. I'm Bane, so it's probably 27. Yeah, it could be 2016, 2017, or 2019. I forget what year it was, but I'm Bane. My group and this other group are waiting in line. It's a cosplay cruise. You go on a cruise around the Hudson, and I go and and our groups are merging. We're talking, and this one girl, again, we'll call her Squirtle. I was like, hey, I'm ready. How you doing? It's like, hey, I'm Squirtle. Like maybe 1 or 2 lines into talking. Like where are you from? It's like, oh, me and my boyfriend are from Binghamton. Like, oh, cool. And I was like, oh, at the time, I don't know, I was living in Massapequa, Huntington, like whatever. Been in Massapequa multiple times. Anyway, but she and there was no problem. I was like, I wasn't looking to hook up with her or anything. But we were just getting. But she made sure to say, yeah, me and my boyfriend are from Binghamton. I was like, oh, cool. And uh, we talk a bit while we're in line. We all kind of became decent friends. So we, we took pictures together, and then we partied, right? Moving, grooving. There's dance parties. There's like cosplay parties. It was fun. And the drinks are going through me. So about like an hour, maybe like an hour and a half later, 2 hours, I don't know. Um, where I go to the bathroom, and there's a little bit of line, so I'm waiting. And all I hear is Randy. I was like, hmm? And it's Squirtle. It's the girl from before. And she's like, I missed you. I was like, oh, hey. He's like, I found you. Immediate plant on the lips. Immediate. And I went with it. I was like, okay. It was like she cheated on her boyfriend, who was apparently, according to her friends, very real. Now, as the night went on, like she got a little sloppy drunk, so we didn't like do anything past that. But she would have. But I wasn't doing that because again, when you get a little too one, it's not fun. I'm too sloppy drunk, and two, consent comes into play. Not a good thing. But yeah, she would have. And even if she didn't get that drunk, if we were both just at that level at that time, she would have cheated. Like went all the way cheated. And maybe you don't consider a kiss cheating. I kind of do. But that's just one example of a couple that I have where told you all I used to strip, right? 2017. Really, like this woman that is having her bachelorette party. She would have went all the way with me that night, and she was kissing, she was grabbing, she was aggressive about it. If I were a girl and that were a guy, that would have been sexual assault. But yeah, she was sure she called someone, and I'm sure that happened. But yeah, that's why like a lot of guys have the rule of like, hey, no girl, especially if the like there was a couple of them like, hey, this friend that you have, they're not a good friend. They're not good for you. They put you in bad situations. It is not good. And once that ended a relationship of ours because her friend was just crazy and insane. Like another time, the girl like, yeah, like I know, and I was like, hey, listen, this girl's putting you in situations. It's not good. And the girl ended the friendship. And I would have told her that if we weren't boinking, if we were just friends. But yeah, that's sending a girl, a girl's trip. Like I think girls are worse cheated than guys, because yeah, don't want a man to pay her bills. Short yield, sort of. I mean, girls still want men, because they're nobody wants to like men are also we're arm candy, we're bragging rights, like especially girls that are younger, that they want to show off. Look what I bagged. Look at this guy. Look at his car. Look at the vacations I'm going on. Like, that's guys are an accessory to gals. Honestly, I'm above 6 feet. Not like a huge advantage. Like I'm 6'2", 6'3". And they're fucking guys 6'5", and I look like Kevin Hart. What type of girls are you going for, man? Like what type of that's are you going for like are you like shooting for the fences, only going for tens? Or are you like again, if you're going for sixes and they're still doing that, it's like damn, again, it's hard for a young guy. But if you're going for tens, I kind of there was a buddy of mine that I knew that like he would constantly complain about like, oh, I can't get a girl, they'll go for the jocks, and he's like sitting there eating Cheetos and he doesn't work out and he has no job. I was like, we were kids, right? We were like 17, 19, or like be the change. Like, oh my God, they're going for this type of guy. Become that type of guy. But his standards were so high. Like there were other girls that liked him too. But he was just like, nah, you know, she's a porker. I was like, she's not that fat. And like, you're not great shape either. Yeah, wild times. Made more than my ex when we got together. Her parents raised her pay, and she made more than me with 10 to 15K by the time we split 5 years later. American inflation became a huge issue. Yeah, I can see that. Slayer is right. Money is biggest fact. Money is definitely a big factor. Yes, agreed. Mosbane says good CEOs put out fires. Most of the time, the layers below them do that. They can in a rightly set up organization. Some fires don't touch the CEO because again, that happens. I don't know if VeVe is at that level yet, where there's layers upon layers. I don't think they haven't they don't have like 800 people working for them, right? Probably like 100 or less. I'm gonna overlook all the other sixes for a 6-figure bank account. Yeah, if you have money, you're yeah, you're good. Even today, you can find affordable life with 100K per year. Most want to live above their means, including city and state. The wild and guys and girls are guilty of this, where I've had people that would come visit me in New York and they're like, and they would fall in love with the city and they're like, bro, I'm thinking about moving to New York. I'll do like if we split rent, come live with me in the city. I was like, no, bro. And like, bro, we could be like, we could do it. Like I've done all this research, I figured out the math. Like we could be living in New York City. But if you're from New York, you like know that living in the city ain't shit. It's like just be like a 20-minute train ride. Just be a little bit of a train ride away. Like it's not worth it to live in the city. But guys and girls do that where they want to just they want to just live in a city or but nowadays I feel like some, especially the younger girls, they want to go out places just for the selfies, which is like insane to me, but whatever. Dating 50-year-olds isn't a flex though. It is if the 50-year-old is, are you talking about guys or girls? Guys don't necessarily, some guys date for the flex. I've done that before too, where it's like, bro, look at this chick, she's so fucking hot. But for girls, like Elon Musk is 55 today. Happy birthday, Elon. It doesn't matter how old Elon is. Dating Elon Musk will always be a flex. Jennifer Lopez, like let's say for guys, Jennifer Lopez, she's 50 something. Shakira's 50 something. Dating them will always be a flex. It doesn't matter how old they are. But for a girl, like, what's a bigger flex? Average 25 to 30-year-old, or like a deca millionaire 50-year-old that has a private plane and has like the 50-year-old is the flex. My ex would ask, what does a 10 look like? I said they don't exist because it would be the face of this, the chest of this, the waist of this, blah, 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 blah. It should be Frankenstein. 9's the real hottest. Yeah, there's also, and again, I'm going to be a real guy here. There's like boob men and there are butt men, right? Guys that like boobs more, guys that like butts more. Usually, the girls kind of like got one or the other. Sometimes they got both, but usually the guys kind of have like, the girls kind of have one or the other. But again, some have both. But there was, I'm trying to think like the hottest women I've been with. One girl, this was years ago, name was Tiffany. One of the most beautiful women probably in the world. And she's kind of dumb. Nice girl. Moved to Vegas years ago. I've never seen her since. And even for a Vegas girl, just breathtaking. Honestly, the first girl, this girl Brittany that I was with, she's still good. Like she's 36 now, but she's still great. We were each other's like first. Like I got very lucky with her because she was hot, but she didn't know it yet. When we were together, again, she's older than me, but we were younger. But yeah, a lot of the women that are just like super, super hot. It's like I have never met like a super hot like absolute 10 out of 10 that I would marry, that I would be with forever. Like I would much rather have, because again, like I'm women's, oh God, all right. A lot of personalities can be the same. A lot of body has, but women's flowers, let's say, they're like snowflakes. Everyone is different. And I would much rather have a 7 or an 8 with like a perfect flower for me, as opposed to like a 10 that's, all right. But even so, I would rather have a 7 or an 8, even with an okay flower, but that just genuinely loves, like, and I love them, like qualities in them that I love, and they love me. Like there is no better feeling than that. Like, and guys, I've had, not every experience. I've had most of the sinful, pleasured experiences in the world that this world has to offer, like almost all of them. And to be with a great woman that loves you and you love that, like there is, I don't think there's a better, if there is a better feeling than having that, I have not felt it. I have not experienced it, and I have done everything to get, like pleasure from, like, y'all know what I've been through. Um yeah, that love is a, Jesus, like like why are rom-coms, I get in rom-coms for women mostly, but um and I get it, it's a chemical thing that compels animals to breed, but fuck does it hit like a truck. Oh my God, it is. And maybe I'm a little bit more susceptible to that than most men, sure, but it's because I've experienced it. I know what it's like. And I know most men don't get that. Most men don't get a lot of physical touch. Most men don't get a lot of, they don't get a lot of attention from women. But yeah, that, it's because it's one thing to, when it's like kind of one-sided, where it's like, you love them and they like, they're with you, and they'll, like I said, they'll lick your private parts with a smile on their face, they'll do whatever, but they don't love you. It's like, nah, that real love is like veteran bond runs deep. That real love is, Jesus. Oh, nothing like it. No lie, 50-year-old is badass on my crack. Bro, don't knock it to you. I've been with quite a few 50-year-olds. Yeah, I I love older women. Since I was 19. Actually, since I was a bit younger, but um that was when the big age, because like when you're young, especially like a teen, you can't really have that big of an age gap relationship. You shouldn't. Um, I think the biggest, when I was like 16, I was with this 23-year-old. Um, and it was just for like a night, right? It wasn't like a relationship, because that be something a little weird about that girl if she would like date me, at 16, but she didn't even know, right? Um, but when I was 19, I was with a 45-year-old, and that was great. Oof, she was great. Loved her. Not like we weren't like in love, but she showed me so many new things, and I her, and um, yeah. Although you learn a lot about yourself when you ever hear like shit that parents say, like, "Oh, act your age." Like, how are you supposed to act? But like when you're with older women or older people in general that have had just different experiences with you, like, it brings you up like to another level, and um yeah, I love that. And yeah, some of them still got it, 8's are the hottest girls you see out daily, 7's are the ones who are noticed, and 6 will catch some people's attention. um yeah, because like the 10 out of 10s, I'm not gonna lie, like sober me, it's hard for me to talk to a 10. Like if I have a little whiskey, a little drink in me, yeah, turn it on. And most times for a 10, it would be, yeah, it's hard. a lot of the times, like when I meet a 10, it's not from me going up to a random girl. That happened like 10, that happened like once. But a lot of times it's just circumstantial, like you're in the same area because of whatever, and then get lucky, right? Like sometimes you just get lucky. But yeah, 10s are very hard to approach. 9s are sometimes hard to approach. But 8s, it's like girl next door, like gettable, like, you know. And go with confidence. Like like animals can like sense fear, apparently. The girls can sense confidence. Like they just can. Yep, 7s once notice, 6 cats, yeah, yeah. Good times. O'Malley's is a lot West Wilden. There's been a lot of oh god, there's a lot of comments here I still have to get to. Who says O'Malley hates anime? Does he? I don't. Okay. Teach their own. And to what they hate, teach their hate. Apparently, he hates slightly overweight. What? Where are you getting this info from? Michael says going to hit 500 million when Penta zeros happen. How many is Penta? Be advised, Michael Zalian, you're not hitting 5 zeros. Like, it's just not going to happen. Quad zeros, yeah, it's possible. You're just not hitting 5. Let's just do something real quick. Yeah, 5 zeros would be a $3 million market cap. That's just not going to happen. So quad zeros though, yeah, that's possible. We got got a buddy of 5 investors like, I won't let it hit 5 zeros. Like, yeah, me neither, fam. There's just no way. Like that's just impossible. Again, the quads is possible because we're still at a $50 million market cap here, or close to it. And Bitcoin going down, that could happen, but Penta's impossible. Appreciate you jumping on the whale sharks. They're a fun ride sometimes, but I shall not need one, as Bourbon and Malibu are my women of choice nowadays. Ooh, ooh. Bro, I want to have a drink. I want to have a drink so bad. This is my 15th or 16th day in a row not drinking. I don't know what the... Ooh, we got Greg White coming on tomorrow night too. When did I forget. It's like my 15th or 16th day in a row without a drink. So I'm jonesing for a drink. If you can make her, yeah, if you can make her laugh, that's a big thing as well. That's a definite big thing as well, because it's you got her, she likes you. Cooper says, Booth, I'm killing it on OnlyFans as a 2. I made $93 this year already. What's your OnlyFans? Well, I'll subscribe right now. Cooper knows the game. Get that money. Get that bread. Ooh, Bourbon, Malibu, and Dr. Pepper are the trio of women I take to Le Boudoir. I don't know if I've ever had Bourbon and Malibu at the same time. Love Bourbon. Bourbon. I want Scotch. I want beer. I like whiskey ginger. Love my whiskeys. I have a tequila right here, a Lujo. I do not saving it when Adam Weitzman comes on, but got back to me in a bit. Yeah, I love drinking. I'll drink again one day. Probably for honestly July 4th. I'm gonna have like 6,000 calories. I'm gonna drink a bit of them. July 4th is gonna be great. Yellow bus start. Yeah, I know. Booth is wild. They want a leader, but try to tell a girl she can't wear that dress outside. Try to tell her she can't do XYZ. They'll turn into a demon. Then you don't put up with that behavior. You have to do one or two things: either break up with them, and this is why I mean, like, take care of, like, you have to put corrective behavior in that. Like, hey, if you're gonna act like that, we're not gonna be together. If you're gonna act like that, I'm gonna send you home. If you're gonna act like that, I'm gonna leave. So, it's what in the veterinary field, there's a common saying that's like, dog trainers, it's easier to train the dogs than it is to train the humans, because the dogs will give you the puppy dog guys, and humans will fall for it. They're like, oh, it's okay, you have this extra treat, you can jump on the couch, you could do all this, and it's like, it's harder to train the humans than it is the dogs. For this, like, it's harder to train men to say no than it is to train the women to tell them that they can't do something. Again, it's women will tolerate certain things and men will tolerate certain things. If you're going to tolerate that behavior of them turning into a demon, then you get stuck with the girl that treats you like that. So you gotta pick your battles there. What do you mean I can't wear nothing but a bra? Dental floss to cover my ass. It's trending. Yeah, I would say and that's the younger girls, which, you're young, and the girls around you, doing stuff for the trends, wild. Well, just like that in the middle of Walmart, like it's Coachella. The produce section. Love you guys. Squirtle, she had that. Well, I just didn't want to say her real name. No one would have been able to know who that was. I just didn't want to dox her. So go for 8 and above, and honestly, I'm like a 7. My standards are. Listen, if you're a girl that's a 6, you're not going to go below an 8. Like you're just like, a girl that's a 6 is generally not going to go above an 8, or I'm sorry, below an 8. Maybe for like a 7. Like, again, if you're you could be a 6 in looks, but you got that Lambo outside, you got that Ferrari. Yeah, girls will be lining up to get you. You got a boat, you got a plane, girls will be lining up to do that. But if you're a 6 and drive like a Honda, I love Hondas. You're a Hyundai, like, you're just not, another 6 is not gonna, But if you say you're a 7, then, yeah, I would say 8's, again, if a girl's an 8, hard for her to go to a 7, unless you have the other things, kind of locked up. 4's a guarantee if you're at least a 6.5. Some 4's will do things 5 to 8's won't. We're gonna take a drink of water here for this. This is already X-rated, right? There are some beautiful things in this world that are very dirty, that some women that are willing to do. It's like, yeah. There are some things that are not dirty. Like, if a woman's a really good cook, that is the way to my heart. Like Hilary Duff in 2006, to the beat of my heart, the beat of my heart, the beat of my heart. It might have been 2009. I forget when she released that song. But yeah, good woman that can cook. I would rather have a woman that looks as a 6, but she can cook, as opposed to a 7 that can't. That gets you another point up there. And yeah, sometimes, as you're saying, some girls just try harder. Like, some girls just genuinely just try harder with things, and they just want to play, and they're just, again, I would rather have a 7 with honest to God effort and love, as opposed to a 9 or a 10 that just doesn't have those. 2 nickels make a dime every time, boys. Meow, meow, meow. Exactly, O'Milly. Giselle Bundchen is short yellow bus certified, cheating on the football goat Tom Brady. Her brokey personal trainer. Very short bus behavior. Yeah. Yep, that was dumb. That was dumb. Now, I understand why some women do that. So I forget what bird it is. There's a bird that lays its egg in another bird's nest, and then when that bird hatches, it kills all the other birds, and then it still, you know, and it learns how to tweet at a pitch where the parents just go and just bring it massive amounts of food. There's also, I've seen this in, I think, a jaguar before, where the female jaguar will go and mate with this male jaguar and then mate with that male jaguar, you know, miles apart. And it's like, okay, well, why? It's like, well, now both of those male jaguars will think that her baby jaguar, when it borns, is theirs, and they'll leave it alone. So in that same breath, like, I've seen women do this, and this is only a thing I think that women can do, but I've seen women that will settle down with a safe guy and boink the personal trainer. And sometimes very believable if both trainers or if both the husband and the trainer are of the same race and the same, you know, how would it, yeah, then the guy doesn't know. But I've also seen these fucking simps that will just explain it away, like, oh yeah, you know, this baby might be a little brown, but you know, my great grandfather was like an Inuit Eskimo, and you know, that could be, that's why the baby's brown. Yeah, I just got some of that strong, and this dude is like white, and the girl is white, and the baby's brown. It's like, and it's like, bro, cope harder. Like, it's insane. But I've seen women do that because they want the genetics of a better looking guy. Like if a girl's settling down with a 6 and she can get an 8 to have unprotected sex with her and get her pregnant, like, she won't even tell the 8. She won't tell anyone. She'll take that secret to the grave. Because she can get the genetics of a higher quality as far as looks guy, but with the assets and the support of a guy that is lower than that. Like, that is a mating strategy. Like, that is guaranteeing that her offspring has better genetic advantages, but also has the opportunities of a wealthier man that's not as good looking. But that being said, Tom Brady is the GOAT, and that woman fudged up bad. Like, I don't know what that was about. That woman, ridiculous. But yeah, some girls will do that. Some girls will get pregnant by, and this is why I lost all respect for Jess in Gilmore Girls: A Year in the Life. Like, and I lost respect for Luke in the first, like, because in the first series of Gilmore Girls, the original 7 seasons, Lorelai goes and sleeps with another dude. Like, her and Luke have a fight. She sleeps with another dude. She marries that other dude. And then she goes crawling back to Luke when she finds out, yeah, it wasn't worth it. And he accepts her. He says, yeah, I don't care that you fucked some other dude. I'll take you back because I'm a simp. God damn it, they killed Luke. And then in A Year in the Life, Rory goes and gets herself pregnant by Logan. And who's looking in the window so careful? It's Jess. The fucking simps that run through that family is ridiculous. She goes, gets dicked down by Logan in the UK, and then she's going to have Jess raise the baby. Like, what the fudge is going on with these guys? That, like, no, you go boink another dude. You're not with me, girl. You get pregnant by another, you're definitely not with me. Get the hell out of here. Oh my God, I'm not raiding another man's kid. Get the fudge out of here. Okay, that's different though. If you know the girl has kids going into it. Like, I've dated a bunch of chicks that have had kids, and like, you know that going into it. But if it's like, you're just, no, like, you can clearly tell the difference in those two scenarios. Patrick, and my personality, yes, I'm aware I'm extremely annoying and honestly don't care. I think you're pretty chill. Like, I'd chill with you. I'd chill. Like, if we were you're on the East Coast, grab a drink every now and then. Not the last few weeks because I'm dieting, trying to become not obese anymore. But yeah, I would I'd go chill with you. Get work out with you. We get drinks together. Girl says I'm an 8 or 9. Girls have said that I'm an 8 or 9, then have a conversation with me, then persisted into the head. Oh, that's great. That is hysterical. I love you guys. Moo said, Booth sending so many comments, Randy can't keep up. Yeah, this happens every now and then. I don't have that. Hold on, that much, but I will sell myself to women so I can buy at it hit squads. Oh god, not quarters. Oh my god. Carter goes there, says if she freaks out on you or throws a fit or saying no to something when you're saying to something, then you know she's going to be a problem going forward. Yeah. Yeah. I like, and again, like energy level, people are just different energy levels, but I also like calm. Like, and I don't mean that like, oh, you can't be, outgoing and bubbly and energetic. No, that's great. But what I mean by calm is like, if shit's hitting the fan, if something bad is happening, because life is going to throw some horrible curveballs at you. And if you're, how are you going to react to those situations? And if you're with a woman long term, you're going to have to go through some very, very devastating times. Loss of parents, loss of family, loss of people get sick. Like there's going to be devastating times that and how someone reacts to that and how someone reacts to that is I think paramount. Like, and how long do they react like that? There's a episode of South Park. It was the episode after 9/11, and that's one of my favorite episodes. How is South Park going to handle that? How and in that episode, the opening sequence just says it all. It's the four boys at the bus stop, and they all have gas masks on. Because if you don't remember, you probably do, but after 9/11, there was like an anthrax thing. Everyone was buying gas masks, and it just everyone was watching CNN way too much, and especially me being from New York, like everyone was watching CNN too much. But people had like the four, and that's the point I'm trying to bring up. How long do they react like that for? Randy goes to his wife's like, honey, you've been watching CNN for 6 weeks straight. Don't you think, like, how long does something affect you for? Does it affect you for a couple days? Standard. A week or two? Okay, you know what? There's not going to be that many crazy, horrible experiences. When one does happen, if my partner's down for a week or two, can deal with that. Or are they like floored for months and it's like, dude, I don't. If something that is, and bad things happen, but if that's going to take you out for months, and just like you're not going to be like a person, and you're just, I don't want to deal with that. And it's like, well, then maybe, and I know, especially in my generation and below, like everyone has a fucking mental illness now. It's like their personality. Like, oh, I have this. My therapist says this, and again, I hope everyone gets the mental help they need in whatever form it is. But it's like some people make it like their personality, and it's like I have this, and the long story short, if you're gonna freak out about a problem for much longer, that it's just not worth it. Zombie says there's always eating out. Smart Buy says, what's going on, Smart Buy? These booth spitting facts. We love him. 2 nickels make a dime unless you spend it on OMI. Heyo. But yeah, 2 nickels do be making dimes though. Going to Smart Buy saying, what is happening with VeVe? They have stopped all Discord shows, very less mods interaction, channels moving away from VeVe content because of no giveaways. Is that what? There's giveaway. In fact, we're gonna do a giveaway right now. We're gonna do a giveaway right now. 6:13. Timmy always goes to the bathroom at 6:13. What show is that from? Whoever says, comments down below what show that is from will win this week's giveaway. 6:13. Timmy always goes to the bathroom at 6:13. What show is that from? Whoever comments down below will win this week's giveaway. We haven't stopped giveaways. We do giveaways all the time. So yeah, whoever comments down below the name of that show that the quote is from, 6:13. Timmy always goes to the bathroom at 6:13. We'll see. So who can Google the fastest? Clear shows still happening. Hasn't many drops. Yeah, I mean, we'll be able to drop tomorrow. I am conflicted because I know what Cooper was trying to say, but he did it. I know what you were, but VeVe. He got he's the one that put the correct, and normally I would have if like one thing was off, but you missed the whole parents, I might have to give it to VeVe. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to give it to that. But C Cooper, we will note this in your file, and we will make sure that other stuff are yes. Okay. All right. All right. Hold on. Let me. All right. I'm going to. And I know the. Okay. What is your VeVe? Because I know I've asked your BL Sony, right? BL Sony? Yes. BL Sony. Okay. We're going to copy. I'm going to go to the VeVe giveaway. Okay, we're going to add. And I'm going to put this. BL Sony. Okay, you are the winner of this week's giveaway. We got some. He's got a bunch of OMI burning ideas. No problem. I don't know if he can discuss it, but he does have a few. OMI, we love him. In a club, demand next with us. Yeah. Okay, you get wash mitts and more sealant. Oh lordy. Well, yeah. Comment down below what you got for Amazon Prime Day, because I got a bit. Amazon Prime is great. God, I love this game. Also, every time I say I love this game when I'm looking at my phone, it's because a girl half messaged me on a cracked one, which is not VeVe related. You did it! Oh, Millie, why you giving me those things? The How much water should you drink in a day? 3.7 liters. That's about a gallon, right? How many liters in a gallon? Yeah. So I try to drink about that. He knows. Oh, he knows. Randy, I was late to the show today. Did you say how many points you're putting up for the art drop? I don't know yet, because like someone messaged me before. They're gonna put like 500,000 points. I was like, that's a lot. Then there's the VeVe Vet that said he was gonna put up points, but he didn't say how much yet. Let me see my other peeps here. How many MCP y'all bidding tomorrow? Because I might use some too. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Shout out to Dr. Onlook Comic Book. Okay, it's been 2 hours here. I'm gonna save the news. Half your body weight in ounces. Okay. Hold on. Oh, okay. 95 ounces of water, really? I don't know. Anyway, I will save the news for tomorrow, because I'll be live tomorrow to go over that drop. Everyone please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments good for the YouTube algorithm. And everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye. Love you. 2.5 hours just flew on by. The news will be shared tomorrow.